my little notebook that my husband got me. Go outside, it says, and do something you will remember. I didn't have time to color the rest. I like to color. I like to do those apps, as you can see, with the little digital coloring, and I meditate, while I'm coloring. It's very, very nice. So anyway, now that April Fool's is this week, I was thinking about, I love playing jokes where nobody gets hurt and they're all safe. And I'm always ready. Growing up, and living in a house with all guys, you got to be able to take it. Well, that's the next part of my speech this week. It leads into my show and tell as I'm wrapping up here. So, yeah, I talked in my book about how I used to every morning listen to this radio personality named Bob Steele. Used to be on the radio in the Hartford, Connecticut area when I was growing up. And one day when I was around 8, it was in the 70s, I sent him a little letter with my picture and some jokes. Some, my corny jokes or whatever. I got a postcard back. It says, Leslie, you'd say, you're a beautiful girl, that's all I can say. But those jokes, they're worse than mine. So I write about Bob in the book and how he's, I interviewed him when he came out with his book of jokes, and the whole, my going to meet him and so forth, and so that's something that I've always appreciated growing up, is people with a sense of humor. My father always was good for a few jokes, and puns were his favorite, or are his favorite. Those groaners, the ones people go, either they'll take off or they'll stick around for more abuse. For his 80th birthday, 4 years ago, he's almost end of April he'll be 84. For his 80th birthday, he decided to roast himself. He came up with a whole bunch of jokes. Just stood up there and read them. And then I got up and I talked to people. We had a big party for him at the place at the golf course, which is now being turned into a fancy restaurant owned by the girls' basketball coach over at University of Connecticut. He's making it into a fancy restaurant. But when it was still the golf course clubhouse, I got it. We had a nice party for him, and got up and I told a few of my stories about Dad that I later put in the Zazoo book, and that was a lot of fun. And I decided, I kind of like getting up there and talking. I could have stood up there all day, but I could tell it was time to move on, give some other people a chance. But the thing I wanted to show and tell today, because I can see I've already been out here 23 minutes. It's kind of nice. Exhibit A, since we're headed into Easter week, and we always have, I don't know, I think my oldest son is going to come home just for Easter dinner and then take off again because he's so busy. I don't know who's coming over, but every year this is part of the classic Easter dinner. Behold the Bobby Vinton spoons that are used to spoon out the Kosciuszko mustard. I think I said it right, Kosciuszko. It's a special spicy mustard that, like, my mother-in-law would always bring the kielbasa and the eggs. She'd do a big plate of sliced kielbasa and the hard-boiled eggs. And we'd make the ham and the scalloped potatoes and the asparagus and the chopped coleslaw, which I'm finally figuring out how to make because we don't really have it. Can't really get it anymore. And then for dessert, always a bunny cake when the kids were little. We're not going to do the bunny cake. Maybe I'll get a store-bought lemon meringue because that's what Granny used to make, but I can't make it. It usually ends up getting thrown out because total fail at meringue. But anyway, so what happened was, a few years back, she and my mother-in-law and my father-in-law, when he was around, they went out to Branson, Missouri, and they went to see Bobby Vinton in concert. He's the one, you know, a lot of Polish Americans like Stanley Bobby Vinton, because he sang My Melody of Love. When I was a kid, that used to be his big song. And so anyway, kind of schmaltzy, but you know, anyway, so it's a big joke. It was a big joke for me and my husband. Like, she came back and she brought us a Bobby Vinton spoon, which I would bring out every Easter and stick in the Kosciuszko mustard, which is this fancy Polish mustard, and a little spicy, that we would put on the kielbasa, and that would be kind of a little joke. And the kids growing up, you know, they were like, hey, we're sitting at the table, and they're like, hey, don't forget the Bobby spoon. Let's keep it, you know, keep it in the fancy silverware drawer with the fancy silverware in the little velvet case, you know, with all the, that's where you keep your fancy, in the cupboard where you keep your fancy china and your, you know, good occasion silverware. So that's where Bobby had a little nest in there for many years. And then just this past year, I went to get the Bobby spoon, and it was all rusted. It was yucky. I better put these back in my pocket. It was all rusted and yucky. And I said somewhat sarcastically to my husband, I said, oh, darn it, the Bobby spoon's all rusted. Now we're not gonna have a Bobby spoon anymore. Loud enough so the universe could hear me. No Bobby spoon, I said sarcastically, tongue firmly in cheek. And I even went so far as to go online and Google Bobby Vinton spoon. And there were a few people that had them on like eBay, but I said, no, they were like, you know, ridiculous. So I said, oh, darn it, can't get them anymore. Shoot. The next week, my mother-in-law sends back this envelope with my name on it, you know, with our names on it. She had, not only, she sent 2 spoons and another one, a different kind of spoon with a big flower on it. I said, she must have a warehouse at home with Bobby Vinton spoons. A never-ending supply, because you can't even buy them. His theater has been closed. You can't even go to Branson and go to the Bobby Vinton gift shop and buy them anymore. And online, they weren't really available. I couldn't really find it. And I'm thinking, that's the end of the Bobby Vinton spoon. Be careful what you wish for. The universe does not understand sarcasm. Apparently. So, whatever happens this Easter, we'll have our Bobby Vinton spoon and one spare. So we're all set. Be careful what you dish out, because you're going to get it right back. I suppose I'll color some eggs or something like that. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'm going to go now. Almost half an hour I've been out here talking, and some of this is going to get cut. I'm getting soaked. So anyway, I hope you stay dry where you are. Hope you have a wonderful week. If you observe the Easter holiday, Blessed Holy Week, and blessed week to everyone. And I'm going to go back and have a hot drink and something to eat. And yeah, it's getting a little wet out here, but at least I know now the rain won't stop me. The Zazoo report must go on. So until next week, take care. See you later.